Hello everybody, my name is Taylor DeGrace, and I have a question for you and that you might be curious of as well. Should you play Grand Pigeons Duty? Today we're going to be answering that question and so much more. Grand Pigeons Duty was created by a Russian developer named Wolfgang Is. It is priced at $1.09. The music, which I actually have to mention because it's really good, was done by both 8-Bit and Even King. So we're in the settings right now, so you can actually switch between English and Russian. So something I might want to mention right off the bat, as you might notice that while we're making the video, English is not the developer's first language, so he had to translate this himself. So if you ever see like a translation issue, just understand that that's the reason why, and let's just move on. Alright, so we're going to go into levels here and pick one of these. So I think to start off first, just to get you guys introduced to the story, because I think that's a really important part of this, we're just going to go to level 1. Welcome, John. We heard about your extraordinary abilities, which is why we sent for you. My assistants told me that you think it's super fast bowel disease, but we desperately need your skill. Of course you can refuse. Just coming out of this game, but then we will lose hundreds of thousands of birds. If you're willing to stay, then just keep listening to me. Okay. Excellent. Our headquarters started work a few weeks ago. We've been waiting for you, but first you must pass our training. What kind of training, you might ask? The training will take place in sparsely populated areas. Your goals will be static, so much strain is not necessary. So let us turn to a brief digression. See that car? You need to hit, okay, so we need to hit the goal 3 times. So we're gonna be moving basically into the gameplay of this. All right, so now I'm just gonna skip past this. So you play as a bird and your whole goal here is to poop on cars. As you can see, our particular shells are actually landing right below us. So right now we're training. So we have, you can see a ticker going down. You can see a ticker going down to the right corner. That is the amount of ammunition we have. I'm gonna skip some of this text here. When they're introducing more characters, I might go over it a little bit more. So let's explore the game a little bit more. We're gonna be introduced to a bunch of characters, and I will go over their text a little bit later, but right now I just wanna introduce you guys to the basic gameplay of it. So, as you can see, we're entering here, we have 7 bombs, and we're going to need to hit each of these cars. So yeah, at this point it's not very hard, but this game becomes incredibly difficult. I did not expect this. Well, good result, I praise you. While you attacked the cars, the bad news came. What is this bad news?
Hello, John, my name is Frank. I'm here from the base of the Bird's Front. My job is to study weather conditions and the economy. Cool. Now I need to inform you that the hurricane is coming. No, it's not terrible for the bird flying, but now your shells will blow the wind. By shells, they mean pigeon poop. Who knows where they'll fall, as each sample has its own weight. But before each flight, we will know the wind direction. I hope you will quickly get used to these weather conditions. I persuaded the commander to give you lunches for a larger supply of ammunition. We believe in you, John. Remind people that they are not alone in this planet. Good luck. I mean, that's a little bit more inspiration than we needed, but alright. So now we've added in another element to this game, which is wind direction. So when you're pooping now, your poop will like fly in whatever direction that the wind meter is pointing. And you can see the wind meter in the left corner of the screen. Again, very simple. The really difficult part of this game will be coming up soon. This is just another layer on the list of things that make this game actually pretty hard. Yeah, we did it. So now that we're done these basic missions, I want to go to a mission a little bit later in the story. Let's go to level 5. So at this point in the story, we're at a point where we can actually start pooping on people. So yes, this is this thing that we are actually supposed to be doing. Once you get out of training, your job is to terrorize the people of this world. Alright, so after this guy is done talking, we will start pooping. I'm almost remiss to go over this plot because I think the plot is one of the main selling points of the game. It's funny because as a Russian game developer, the humor I think carries over quite well. Even though the translation's not so great, it's all about pigeons misunderstanding what humans are doing pretty much and are trying to just attack them. Alright, so now we're coming out. We have 14 bombs. Here's the thing. We need to get a certain amount of cars pooped on and a certain amount of people pooped on. At this point, the game has gotten much more difficult. As you can see, we have the wind as a factor and the people as a factor. We need to attack a certain amount of people, and believe it or not, the people are actually the most difficult thing to hit because they're moving targets. So as you can see, I'm trying my best to get these cars as best as I can. But I'm also trying to get these people. The people are much harder targets to get. The later in the game that you get, the less chance you have to make up for your mistakes. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to line it up so that I can poop on these people. That is a weird sentence that I never thought I'd say. Yeah, so I want to put it over this car so that if I miss the people, I'll always hit the car. That's my pro MLG strat to playing this game. So the gameplay itself is nothing spectacular, right? It's nothing we haven't seen a billion times in like Atari games or whatever, but I think that the art style is incredibly novel, and oh, by the way, we won. I'm the best in the world at Grand Pigeons duty. The gameplay itself is not the be-all and end-all. I think this game is a really good mixture of both storytelling and you know, gameplay that is difficult enough to make you want to beat it and unlock the next level. It's not unengaging, it's just, I feel like the gameplay is not the most important factor here. I actually really enjoy the art that's used in this game. A lot of it's repeated over and over, but again, it's a very small title. The individual artwork for each of the individual pigeons, these people are actually pretty good as well. It's something it's easy to look at, and I'll say that openly. Like I like it. I wasn't paying attention to how many people we have to poop on for this, but I guess I'll just keep trying my best. But yeah, I think the overall art direction is good. The writing is also really good. And you know what? I think we should start talking about the price point a little bit. I think the price point is actually perfect. It's $1.09. And I think that's the Canadian price. I know our dollar is not fantastic right now. So if you're in America, you can probably get this for like a dirty nickel, pretty much. Something that really makes this game stand out for me personally is that I feel like the developer had a lot of heart making it, and I want to show off why at the end of the video. Just chill. Looking for a mark. That blonde lady, I got her. Dang it. Got her, alright. Gotta go for crowds. When they're crisscrossing each other, that's the time to strike. Man, I am adept at pooping on these people's heads. Okay, I think I need to go for 10. I think that might be the goal. Again, reading, not my strong suit. Alright, one more. We got one more shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. Alright. And bam. Dang it. I lost. I lost. It was so perfect until then. I think we're gonna go back to the main menu because that is the basics of the gameplay of this. I think the story is really good, and I wouldn't want you to. I don't want to spoil the story for you, but it is pretty funny. It is, I think, one of the main drawing points of this game if you're interested. As you can see when you look at the levels, there's actually a lot of gameplay, and I think this is actually bonus content down here. So once you've actually beaten the main storyline, which I guess will take you maybe like 2 hours, you can also do all this extra stuff, but I'm not really sure what it is. So again, take that with a pinch of salt. So I guess it comes back to the question, should you play Grand Pigeons Duty? And my answer is yes. The game is $1.09, which is less than a cup of coffee, but there's a lot of Steam games that are less than that. I think this game has a ton of love behind it. I think the actual gameplay itself is difficult, but in a good way. I think the writing is really good, and I think the actual pixel art itself is amazing, and it's priced modestly. It is a complete game, it's out, and you know what? It's pretty good. That kind of ends my really critical part of this video. There is one more thing that really pushed me over the edge into really loving this game, and that's this little feature right here. I'm gonna read this because it really touched my heartstrings as somebody who really enjoys playing games and really enjoys playing indie games. So let me just go into it. So guys, before I start reading this, remember that I can't pause the text and just read it slowly, so I'm gonna have to read it all the way through. You may not be satisfied with the translation's quality. I understand you, so I ask you to understand me. I developed this game alone for more than 6 months. I spent a lot of time to translate and embed the translated text in the game. There are a lot of texts, and some of the game levels consist only of text. This is not done because of schlook, but in order to make it clear that there is a story here, is no less important than the bombing. I recognize that it is often difficult to understand the essence of the proposals, but it is also part of the narrative plot. Of course, there are enough unintentional mistakes, but I have no money to pay for the services of a professional translator, but more than half of the text I tried to write as if I were a pigeon. It sounds strange, but it is. Have you ever thought about what these birds communicate to each other? I thought about it, and this was my vision. And it seems ridiculous, but kind of funny too, but it is. Hopefully, with the knowledge of these facts, you'll be pleased to play in the Grand Pigeons Duty. Thank you for your attention. That was supposed to be read, not spoken, so I was probably very quick. When I read that for the first time, it really showed me how much the developer really cared about getting his game to multiple audiences.
and it kind of struck a soft spot with me, and I encourage you to play this game if you have the money and have the interest. Without further ado, my name is Taylor DeGrace. If you guys like this video, give it a like. If you guys want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. See you guys next time.